Hell yeah.
Classes in session, this is the show where knowledge is profit, just so you know. Army Piper, OC guy, and Trade Fly, bringing crypto news to the whole alumni. It's the word on the market, the one-stop shop for the info you need every time that it drops. The go-to show that you need right now. This is Piper Academy, it's all going down, let's go.
Yo, good morning, alumni. It is Wednesday, June 5th. We got ADP job numbers, as we discussed on Monday, dropped this morning. Markets are set to pump, fueled by job losses. They are not looking good. Plus, we got an article about BlackRock backing and supporting a new Texas stock exchange. We're going to take a look at that and a whole lot more today on Piper Academy, guys. Let's get it. Classes in session. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Piper Academy. I'm Army Piper. We come at you every Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to bring you guys the news, the charts, and the markets, and everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. And if you were watching us this week, you knew that these job numbers were this was the week for a pump, guys, because we have a lot of job information coming out. And we talked about this in depth Monday and yesterday, but I wasn't talking about it by myself. I had my partner in crime, and he was doubting my $74,000 Bitcoin call yesterday. He may be rolling back on it. I don't know. We'll see. Is he a perma bear? Let's bring him up. It's Trade Fly. What's up, perma bear?
Nothing. I don't roll back on nothing. Let me tell you something. I'm here. But you know what?
You got your hand blockers on, I see.
I do. I'm gonna block you out, bro. Calling me out. Hey, 74K. I don't know. I mean, you got to get through the all-time high first, man. But we were singing to the same music yesterday. We both said, you know what? I think the price is going to go up. That's what we left you with, and here we are.
We did.
So, I mean,
a great call on a trade yesterday too that we did a short on. So shout out to ZTS on that. Who all we got in the chat today?
That's what I was just about to get there, man. You want to do it or you want me to do it?
Oh, you take it, man. You got this.
All right. Mr. J, he's always first in the chat, except for yesterday. He got beat by Joe. Trade Intuition. If you guys don't know, you need to go check him out. Blackie Chan's in here. BC Port Corp Ninja Glock. Let's see. We got you, me, Trade Intuition all over the darn chat. All right. Speed, what's up? How you doing? Donate Cabrera. Donato. Man, I'm gonna have to work on that, man. One day. Alexander G, best mind in the house. Lunar Beaches Crypto, LBC. Let's go ahead and give some waves in the chat. Cluck. How you doing, Crypto Pollo? Bro, Koshi No Dinero. That's one of my favorite names.
Hey,
Magnum DeFi. Yeah, what's up?
I want to give a special shout out to Papa G Gaming that's in here right now. Papa G Gaming was he was a doorman for me, a bouncer back in the day when I was in the bar business. And then after I joined the military many years later, he joined the military also. We crossed paths in Colorado at Fort Carson, and now he's back home in Indiana. So that's a old friend of mine, like 30 plus years, man. So shout out to Papa G.
Papa G, what's up, man? How you doing? All right, rolling through. Justin Eubanks, always in the chat. What's up, man? You know, hey, special thanks to you, man, because he's great about reposting and retweeting, and like we actually really appreciate that. That's dope of you taking your time to help us out. Harp, how you doing? Amy Lives Crypto. Hopefully, we're going to be doing some more content with her, but if not, you need to get over there and check out her channel.
We plan on it. She's part of the family now. She's enrolled. She's enrolled here. She's enrolled here in the academy.
There we go. John Foster Crypto. Who else we have? Papa G got your call out, and that is Dave Digital, my man, always keeping the chat live. What's up, bro? Come on.
Crypto Pollo said he likes that picture in the background. That cluck right there.
Oh, yeah. The funny thing is, I always think of him when I see that. Like literally, that's actually what comes to mind now.
I'm paying homage to him right there. Let's go ahead and get into the data, guys. We had job numbers today. Okay, so let's jump over here. We'll start off with our normal thing, fear and greed. We're sitting at 75, clicking up 2 ticks there from 73. We were 73 yesterday. We were 73 on Monday. We were 73 on Friday. We are now 75. The greed is kicking up. Sorry, squirrel. It literally was a squirrel outside my window. I didn't just squirrel on you there for a second. Jumping over here into our crypto bubbles, guys, on the daily, looking green, and even on the hourly, we did have some pullbacks here. Core, Dog, Stark, not pulling back, but everything else staying green here on the hour, getting a lot of movement off those ADP numbers, guys. Looking here at the liquidations, and let's drop in here and see how it's looking here. You can see it's about equal on the longs and shorts for the hourly, but look at the short liquidations from the last 24 hours from yesterday to today. These people would not have been liquidated if they were watching Piper Academy. I'm just going to put that out there. That's their failure right there. That is number one source of failure right there, that because they didn't come to Piper Academy. They shorted the markets when we told them job numbers, guys. Job numbers are driving these markets today. So look at the past 24 hours. What's that?
I say crazy people.
I know, crazy people, and they probably didn't use a stop loss either. All you got to do is watch the last 2 seconds of the show to get that one. Past 24 hours, 40,361 traders were liquidated. Total liquidations came in at $113.4 million. Largest single liquidation was ETH versus Bitcoin. So someone was trading the swap, and it was valued at $7.3 million that they lost there. So biggest liquidation. Let's jump over here and talk about these numbers, guys, because this is why I think a majority of the people that come here come for TradeFly's pretty face, OC's humor, and my economic breakdown. So ADP, employment change, came in. Now, I want to tell you guys, these numbers were actually kind of mixed. I know it looks here like it said 188,000 last month. Consensus was that it would be 175,000, forecasted to be 170,000. We absolutely came in way below even the consensus in the forecast. Is 152K. But what I want to break down for you is this. Let's jump in here, and I want to explain why we could get some mix off of this in the investor sentiment here, because the service providing sector added 149,000 jobs, mostly trade, transportation, and utilities. So if you look here, education and transportation, trade, transportation, and utilities was plus 26,000. Education and health service plus 46,000. Financial activities plus 28,000, and leisure and hospitality plus 12,000. While job losses occurred in information, minus 7K. I wonder if that has anything to do with things like, I don't know, ChatGPT replacing how many people you need to do information stuff. Professional business services went down 6K. The goods producing sector added 3,000 jobs, led by construction, 32,000 jobs, while both manufacturing lost 20,000 jobs and natural resource mining lost 9,000 jobs. This here means slowdown of economy. And you want the economy to look like decently strong while your job numbers are starting to shuffle down, because it means, hey, Jerome Powell is going to have to save these job numbers. But if you get job numbers going down while inflation's going up and manufacturing's going down, that means companies lose money. That means they have to lay off more people, which adds even more fuel to the numbers dropping on unemployment, which also means that people have less money to buy things that, by the way, inflation is still driving up price on. That's stagflation. So there is some data in here. If you really, really break it down inside of each of these sectors of the ADP numbers, there is some indication there that we could get some mixed sentiment off of this. It just really depends on what we see this week. And let's jump over here and see what we got for the rest of the week, guys, because we don't really have a long time before we get our next FOMC. So let's break in here and let's look at Thursday. Tomorrow, we get balance trade, imports, exports, and initial jobless claims. This is the weekly unemployment claims, guys. That's going to be tomorrow morning. Right now, it looks like this is going to be a report that initial jobless claims, how many people filed for unemployment this week, is actually more than what it was previously, which is another bad job number. And then on Friday, we're going to get non-farm payrolls and that unemployment rate. Guys, if this unemployment rate comes in higher than 3.9, look for the markets to rip off hard on Friday for the weekly close. I think it's going to be interesting, and that's the big one that I'm watching. All eyes on Friday morning, 7:30 my time, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is going to be out an hour before we go live on Friday, and we're going to be bringing you all the updates as quickly as we can as soon as we go live. And then next week, next Wednesday, guys, all of this is gearing up for core inflation. And I want you to look at this because this is a little nerve-wracking. Core inflation, one of those things that we get in the morning time that they look at the Federal Reserve coming in the morning of the Federal Reserve FOMC numbers. So it's going to be pretty peculiar to watch these stack like this, getting those core inflation numbers from month over month, core inflation year over year, then the inflation rate that's going to be coming in. Currently, they say it's sitting at 3.4 cap. But what it's really going to be, the mover is going to be this 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I know it says 1. I'm in Central right now. Just this happens. I'm on the roll. I'm on the move. So 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we're going to get those Fed interest rate numbers. And then that Fed press conference, that is real. Jerome Powell is going to step out on stage and grab the microphone and start rapping numbers. And people are going to be like, what did he just say? And they're going to get sentiment moves. FOMC, Jerome Powell is going to be the mover this next week, and that is 7 days away. So let's kick it over to DuoCam here, unless we've got the OC guy in yet. I don't think we have, though.
Not yet, but I checked in on him.
Cool. Yep. He's trying to get on, guys. Mexico internet. You know how it is. Trade fly.
You got Elon for that one, man. He's got the Starlink.
I know he does, but he's still always having issues. Love the guy. He needs better connectivity down there or something. So these numbers
he needs some
Fairfield
internet. This stuff
he
works.
needs Fairfield in. I've got my 5G puck with me everywhere I go, so I don't trust internet from the hotels. But so these numbers, these job numbers, let's talk about this. So we've got job numbers coming in this week. Like I said, we still got on Friday, we've got that non-farm payroll, the unemployment rate. Those numbers are going to be key. It's a last jobs report week, guys, and we have a whole week of it this week, which is why on Monday I said this is the week for the pump because they were not looking good. And then 7 days from now, 7 days, we've got Jerome Powell that's going to be coming out after reading CPI that morning and going, hey, this is the bottom line, guys. Do you think he's going to be hawkish? Do you think he's going to be dovish? Do you think there's going to be a shift of Jerome Powell presence on that stage when he's talking at that podium next week? I personally think we're going to see a Jerome Powell shift because these numbers would cause me to have a pucker factor of 100 in being in his position. So go for it. What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, so we're trending in the right direction with numbers, right? So this is good news because Papa Powell has been talking about this over and over again. We've been talking about it quite a bit. And, this is what he's been looking for, upside down OC. Of course, that's what he's been looking for. But we're going to turn him right side up. But, so we what's up, man? How you doing?
This is actually the perfect representation of the job market right now versus inflation. Completely upside down. In the military, we call this a snafu. Situation normal. All effed up. So there you go.
All good. So rolling with that. Yeah, so this is what Papa Powell's been looking for. The concern for me is that now you have all these numbers on the same day that he's going to be talking just before. So I don't know that, it's going to be tough to be as well rehearsed, right? Because you have this huge inflow of data that's coming out right before he's going to be talking day of. So that'll be interesting. I think that day surely is going to be very volatile, but we could see an explosion. You can see some really explosive movement, especially if you get data that aligns with the job numbers. So, right now we have a little thought that the price is going to go up leading into that. But be careful because I've noticed 24 hours out from whenever we have these FOMC meetings or whenever Powell talks, you see a small pullback in the market. It has been a trend. It's verified. So I would say be careful there, especially if you're scalping intraday. Don't get caught in silly trades. Wait till Powell hits the mic and see if he's dovish or hawkish. And you'll usually see that day when he talks and after he talks a small increase in price. So that is my thought.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. 100%. That is the thing. You can go back to duo cam until OC is in here, ZTS. One thing that I do want to bring up, though, a little public service announcement that I did not mention at the beginning. Let's go over to my screen real fast and let's pull this up. If you guys get any newsletters and you have been a user of any of the following, guys, let's get in here. It is Bitfinex, I believe. And yeah, Bitfinex and CoinGecko. If you guys have used either one of those firms and you get any newsletters in your emails, you need to be careful. Guys, they had a hack. They got everyone's emails that are on these newsletters, and that means you're probably going to be a target to a lot of phishing and scam emails. It's going to look like newsletters that aren't Piper Academy. They're going to look like, hey, come check out these trade calls, all that stuff. Guys, be very, very careful. If you have CoinGecko account or you have a Bitfinex account, you are likely going to be targeted with these emails. So I just wanted to put that out. Public service announcement, keep our people safe, man. That is what we do. You can jump back over to DuoCam, and we will talk about some Bitcoin here because actually, you could have kept it on my screen. I guess I can talk about this Bitcoin faces price correction as a major sell signal emerges. I hate these articles, and you guys let me know in the chat.
I was about to say, you just had major buy yesterday. Now you're hitting us with major sell. Who's the bear here?
Let me get into the article. Let me get into the article, please, sir.
Mixed signals, bro. Mixed signals.
No, even worse. Clickbait headlines. Watch. Bitcoin faces price correction as major sell signal emerges. Now, this tells me it's time to sell. That's what this tells me, right? Let me read this and see if he's saying that. Bitcoin's technical indicators show mixed signals as they suggest cautious optimism for traders. And then it's Ali. This guy, Ali Martinez, is back at it again, highlighting the potential Bitcoin price correction. He tweeted that the TD sequential is given a sell signal on the Bitcoin hourly chart. He anticipated a 1 to 4 hour candlestick price correction. Literally, that's his sell signal, a 1 to 4 hour price correction. Despite the sell signal, Bitcoin remains on a bullish trajectory. According to the latest data, Bitcoin has traded 70,856, marking a 3.26% increase in the past 24 hours. Upward movement is accompanied by a surge in trading activity, with 24-hour trading volume up by 28.59%, reaching $37.5 billion. So kick it back to DuoCam. I hate these articles like this, man. Like major sell signal. I looked this morning. I was like, what the hell is this guy seeing on his charts? Does he not do anything in fundamental news? Is he not subscribed to Piper Academy? What is wrong with this guy? And then I look and it said 1 to 4 hour candle correction on the 1 hour chart. So, guys, be careful.
Solid analysis. I'll make sure to follow you, my friend. Hey, check it out. Welcome to the club. Miss Amy Lives Crypto. Cum laude. Let's go.
Did she join? Did she join?
She did.
Let me go look here. I gotta go look. Oh, look at that. Shout out to you. Now. Much love, Amy Lives Crypto. And then Dave Digital using his cum laude message for the month. He said, ALC less. Go, girl. I love it. Amy Loves Crypto dropping in here joining the academy. Let's go and take a look at Bitcoin. OC, do you have anything for the people? You've been absent from class, and we have deducted your grade by 2 zeros in your calculation. You're now at a 4.0 GPA. Just so you know.
Not much. I've been crazy busy with a couple of deadlines that I needed to meet throughout this week. All doing good, all doing great. Also, we had Mexican votations or votings happening this weekend. It was a massive and collective, like act of democracy. And I did travel all the way back to Cozumel to participate, right? So it's been a crazy week for me. Just spoiler alert, the one that I voted for did not win, but that's fine. I mean, it's just part of
You didn't
democracy,
vote.
right? As long as
You didn't.
the most of the people decision gets, what is it?
You didn't vote for the criminal.
Yes, exactly, exactly. I mean, I didn't want to say it that way, but exactly. There
All
you
right,
go.
welcome
But
to
I
the
mean,
last
that's
4 years of my
democracy,
life.
right?
So.
Crypto Pollo just gifted a membership by BC Port Corp. So Blackie Chan, much love to you. And Crypto Pollo, now there's a reason for me to have a chicken on my shelf. You're part of the alumni. Let's jump into Bitcoin, man. Let's get into this. We got to go take a look at this chart because it's doing some stuff. It's doing some stuff right now. First, I want to pull up the Dixie, guys. We're looking at the Dixie here, and there's the 4 hour. You can see here this morning that data printed right in this ballpark here, and then poof, down it goes, all off of those job numbers. So let's go jump over into the Bitcoin and look at the bitty boy, see how he's looking right now. He is getting a little bit of a pullback right now, but this candle, this 4 hour candle, has been doing a doji up, coming back down with the candle body, doing a doji up. If you guys don't know, a doji is when you have that candle that it's got a wick and it got another wick. Oh, well, it's got it's crooked. It's got a like this, and then you get this little cross because the body has pulled down and then back up, and the upside has pulled back down. And so you get this little thing that looks like a cross or a dragonfly. That is a doji candle. It means uncertainty, and that's what we're seeing right now. But overall, it's still holding pretty good in this area, and it's nothing more than a little healthy retracement, maybe like that TD sequential that we just read an article about that said a 1 to 4 hour correction. So that's what we're seeing on Bitcoin right now. I do want to point out that we are starting to get a little bit of downside movement on the ribbon on the 4 hour, and we are getting that divergence printing there, a red candle on the RSI primed. But if we go over to the daily and we take a look here, you'll see that it's not looking too bad. We're doing a wick here. We're still looking good on the RSI primed candles here, and this can run much higher, guys. This can run all the way up into here, so plenty of room there, and we are still getting our initial push into the cloud on the daily after a bounce there on the 0 line, getting that green momentum dot print, and things are looking good on the daily. So maybe Ali Martinez and his TD sequential 1 to 4 hour retracement collapse, market crash, 4 hour market crash of retracement candle. Maybe that is legit. Let's go ahead and kick it over. Looking at TradeFly's heat map, because he's going to be bringing some alpha over there. What are we looking at there, bro?
Right on. Well, I mean, it's clear as day what is happening right now. Look how quick this liquidity popped up. So people are going short. I don't know that they believe in the move. So we'll see if we get that retracement before the next meeting here. But I mean, it's coming in pretty fast. So that's your closest alligator to the boat in terms of price action. The liquidity sitting on the top side. We did clear out a little bit, but this is built up a lot since yesterday. So a little further down under your little support area here, you got more sitting about 68.5 all the way down to about 68K. There's a lot of liquidity sitting down there. If you add it all up, you're definitely more than $1 billion in liquidity sitting there. So, and that's really not that far away. Let's be honest. So that's your two kind of hot zones for liquidity. That's on the 3-day. Let's go ahead and look at it on the daily real quick just to see. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, it's building up. Nothing too crazy. Hottest spot is down at 68,350. So just talked about that zone. 68.5 to 68 is kind of your biggies for liquidity. Let's look at the chart here. I'll keep it quick. I'm not going to pair it too much, but check out the smart target that we talked about yesterday with Chart Prime. So if you guys need a reason for Chart Prime, if you need a reason, here you go. This is my line, but underneath of it is actually Chart Prime's line also. And then you have this support level here, this trend line that they have. And again, I think this was more of a descending triangle if I were looking at it, but Chart Prime says it's a symmetrical. So maybe I'm the dodo. We did talk about this breakout here, so not going to rehash that all that much, but look at this. this blue dotted line, it might be hard for you guys to see on your screen. I did talk about this. This, again, is the median of the channel. If you zoom out on Bitcoin, it's going up and right. I drew 2 channels following the price action. So look at that, man. It actually acted as resistance. So very interesting. Let's see if this trend continues, because at one point, the reason I drew it this way is because it acted as resistance before, and it seems to be playing out again. So really interesting when you go back and look at things historically over like a zoomed out, like weekly time frame. You'll see little things like this pop up all the time. He did point out, Piper, the divergence here on the 4 hours. So not ideal in terms of a setup, but we saw that yesterday as well. We saw multiple hits of divergence. Sometimes that happens as the RSI resets, and it really, price can continue to go up and right though. But if you're going for a little scalp trade, maybe an opportunity there. But you're looking at a prime score of an 8, prophecy, market pumps. Everything is really kind of setting up to be kind of a bullish structure, I'll say. But again, the only thing that I would kind of hang my hat on is maybe some potential weakness going into, and it's not really weakness. It's more of an uncertainty. People get a little bit, a little more cautious as you start leading into significant data that's coming out in the economy. So let's just give you some quick numbers here. This is obviously going to act as resistance. We can see that you got multiple hits here, and that is officially going to be at 71,450. All right. And that aligns with that trend line as well as the smart target. And what you do, just coming back left on the chart, right? This will wick up. So sometimes these, depends on how you play the game if you want to take the wicks into account. But you can see right here, 1, 2, 3 hits of resistance right after that at this area, and sure enough, that's where we got a rejection. So keep that in your scan. We'll say 71,450. Not saying that, hey, this is the end all be all, but hey, if we do push back up, you may look at that area for some price action again. So that's why you want to annotate these on your chart. You got that horizontal level of resistance. Now what we're flirting with is what was resistance. So we did break through. Let's see if we find a little bit of support here. There's a little bit of a range at about 70,000, we'll call it 800, and you could go down to probably about 70,500. So could find some support right there and just could pogo back and forth between this area. Not going to say I'm a price predictor here, but I do like to look for these areas for where we can find price action off of them. I will say that I would not play with this area in particular. I would actually, to be perfectly honest with you, unless I'm doing a kind of a DGen play, scalping, intraday, I would be more interested up here for a short, and then I wouldn't be all that interested until we got back down to the 2021 high, just because it's been a significant area. So this was where I would set an alert and look for some kind of price action. Personally, I'm going to be pretty patient right now with where we're at in price action. If you're in a long position, I would say be careful. I mean, if you're DCA, no big deal, right? It doesn't matter up, down, and around. But for scalping intraday stuff, I'm probably going to wait it out. I think 2021 high is an area that I'd be interested in, and that's about 69K. So we got a little ways to go down there, but what does that do? If it comes down to 69K, what do we say for the liquidity? Was that 68 or was that 60? That was 68,350. So I don't know how that would play out. If that played out, that would come all the way back down to the trend line. So might have to extend that. Let's see what this looks like real quick as we're thinking out loud. There we go. So that could be something. That would clear out your liquidity, and it would retest this trend line. And if the dynamic reactor continues to come up and right, which it is, you might find some confluence here in this area as it comes down and clears out the liquidity. So there's something for you guys to look for. Nothing too crazy in terms of price action. I would say you got this nice movement up and right. What's my bias going to be for the day? Unfortunately, I would say my bias short term for the day would probably be for it to pull back just a little bit.
A 1 to 4 hour candle pullback.
Yeah, it's a massive dumpsies. Everybody strap in, hold on tight. But don't worry, the doctor of TA is going to follow us up, and I bet you he's going to throw some Mexican spaghetti all over the chart. So let's see what he's got to say.
OC, quickly, because we're at the top of the hour. We need to get into a little bit more news and some altcoins.
Boo.
What are you seeing on your charts, bro? We have not gotten any Dr. OC. The doc is back, and we haven't gotten any OC guy Mexican spaghetti all week. So feed us, OC. Go for it.
Nerd alert!
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Very quickly, just basically keep going on the apparent Wyckoff pattern here. Let me show you very quick the breakdown to the spring. Here we have the spring, then the spring confirmation. Here we go. Then the bounce all the way at the SOS. We hit it here, and basically the reversal. This one that was a little bit more steeper than I was expecting. I was expecting it to be contained within this line. Nonetheless, it went all the way back down to this trend line that TradeFly was looking at for a couple of days. And then remember last time I jumping here with you guys, I told you it needs to bounce right there out of that trend line right now. If not, we're going to be visiting lower lows, right? At something around 6,400 or something around those. And sure enough, we did bounce all the way up here. What is up next? Well, I believe that right now we already finished with the bearish month. And what is up next? It is my first target at 76,700, and then at 89,200. So I'm pretty
Ooh.
bullish on
Yeah,
Bitcoin,
you
to be
are.
honest. I know, yeah, I know it's a little bit early to call, but yeah, I mean that's my take for the future. So
Can I get some air horn? Can I get some air horn on that call that surpassed my 74K call?
I got something for you.
The cream of the crop! Nobody does it better.
Let's go.
Love it. Love it, man. All right. So, yeah, that's Bitcoin, guys. Let's jump over and take a look at an article and see if we're seeing anything that is in line with what he's saying there on some altcoins right after this. So, guys, let us know in the chat what you got for altcoins. BlackRock and Citadel back a new Texas National Stock Exchange, guys. Texas is going to be starting their own stock exchange. Who knew? Texas trying to be their own nation over there. Around $120 million in funding and is prioritizing ETF listings. It also aims to offer more competitive alternative to the two major U.S. stock exchanges. The world's largest asset manager, BlackRock, and market maker Citadel Securities have reportedly backed a firm in launching the new national stock exchange in Texas. The Texas Stock Exchange, TXSE, has reportedly already secured approximately $120 million in funding and intends to file registration statements with the United States Securities and Exchange Commission toward the end of 2024, according to a June 4th Wall Street Report Journal. The Pro Cryptos states that the stock exchange would be another alternative for crypto companies looking to go public. So let's jump back over here to the trio cam, because it's not a duo cam. Guys, Texas trying to break in for a market focusing on ETFs and focusing on crypto companies that want to go public. So what do you guys think about that? Is this anything big? Is this going to be a new intro into crypto? Are they going to shake their willy at Gary Gensler over there at the SEC and go, we do what we want? I don't. It's pretty interesting. In Texas has been known to be a little rebellious, just a little. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Straight fly, then we'll go to OC.
Yeah, no, I think that's cool. I mean, I think they're going to have a lot of hurdles to get through, because when you start talking about that, you have to be approved by a national or a federal level, is my understanding. You don't just go and get the willy-nilly do it at a state level. So will be interesting. I would love to see it if it does get approved, and that's a thing. That's super bullish in my mind. So yeah, we'll see. I think it's a lot to get through to get there, but
here's what concerns me is the fact that BlackRock and Citadel are throwing some money up for it. But let's be honest, it's $120 million. $120 million from a company like BlackRock is like, oh, I dropped some change out of my pocket when I pulled out a stick of gum.
But so I mean, if you go back to like what Krupsk's always talks about, anything BlackRock gets involved in, they usually get their way.
They do, absolutely. So,
Think about that.
it
You throw a little sprinkle out there, maybe a little, what is it? I don't know, taster. What's the right word I'm looking for? Just, something to throw, a little. I can't think of the word right now. But
line,
anyways,
please.
there,
Line, please.
yeah. Hello, help, Jesus.
OC, what's your thoughts on this, man?
Oh man, I just want
Taster.
to drop in here a little date, 1836. I don't know if that rings any bells. If it doesn't, well, let me just remind you that Texas was at one point Republic of Texas. So I'm telling you, Texas likes to be bouncing between countries. It's been wanting to become its own thing for a long, long time. So do not underestimate Texas at all. I mean, that is a powerful, powerful state, and the people living in Texas, I mean, they have, I think, the both of both worlds. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I just see him
Shout out,
grinning the whole
and
time. You're like, "Texas." He's got this little smirk on his face, like, "You're damn right."
The whole time. Damn right. Damn right. So yeah,
absolutely.
it's
I'm just saying, Texas, if you ever consider coming back to Mexico, you know you have the open arms here. And
um
That's
we don't request
terrifying.
KYC, by the way.
I'll take
I'm
President
just
Greg
saying.
Abbott over your president in Mexico any day.
So do I. So do I. So do I.
He's like, you wanna join us and bring your president down with you? All right, man.
Oh
Let's
man,
get into
yeah.
these altcoins. Have you guys seen what's on the list for the altcoins here?
Yeah,
ZTS, give
I
us a
see a couple.
rundown.
All right,
You
so
take
we
it.
got
There we go.
SYK, the Stonk, and then for crypto we got Ondo, AVAX, and Cake.
Right on.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at. It was SYK. You said
Affirmative.
for the stonk. Okay, I'm gonna go see if I can go look at that real fast. Let's go jump over to my chart and let's try to get into that. And then, guys, start grabbing off those altcoins and let's get ready to start the rotation there. SYK. We are looking at stocks. Is it Striker Corp? That's all I'm seeing on here. Let me know in the chat. I don't think that one's it. Let's go ahead and kick it over to TradeFly until I find out for sure what they are looking for. So,
Right on. Cool. I got AVAX pulled up on the daily, so that is where I'm gonna start. Looks like there was a channel that was going up and right here. It had a breakout smart target, hit it again. Imagine that. Sharp prime for the win on the daily. Came down to the golden pocket, which we did talk about. I remember talking about that for AVAX because you had multiple hits on the golden pocket as well as you had divergence, 2 hits of divergence there. So nice little buying opportunity on AVAX, more of a long-term buy, not so much of a scalp or intraday kind of deal. But we did get some price action off of that area. So where did it come up to? Well, you have a channel that it's been in. Besides this little breakout, right? It broke out for a little bit, had a strong move, came back down, but it regressed to the mean essentially. Came back into the fixed range volume profile that we have, and really where it's flirting with right now, and I do think I remember talking about this, is the value area high. That's where this gray line is right here. So value area high met with some resistance, came back down, and now we're sitting around the point of control. So let me see if I actually have this extended out to the right. I don't. Let's actually update that. I'm scared to update it because if I do, sometimes you'll lose it. So let's leave it alone. Anyways, so it came out to the value area high. Now you're working with the point of control. What I'm guessing is if I were to extend this out to the right, is that this point of control is probably going to move down a little bit just based on more price action being down here. So you might see the point of control move down just slightly. So I think that it's actually acting as support, even though right now what we have drawn is it's acting as resistance. So with that being said, anyways, we are at an area of resistance for AVAX. So I'd be very, very careful here. And the reason I say that is, look, you got the dynamic reactor on the top side of price action. You got the 0.5 on the top side of price action. And the only thing that's kind of squeezing it up here is I'm going to guess that the point of control is actually a little bit further down. So you're kind of in a little squeeze, right? You got to see what happens here in terms of it breaking out. Looking at the prime score is a 3, consolidation is a 9. That makes sense. Just looking at the price action. And then you got market pump. So the market is moving. It has been moving up and right. However, if we go with my little prediction, thinking that we might have a little bit of a pullback on Bitcoin just because it had a nice exponential move up. I think it might cool off. Again, that's all speculation. It's just kind of the way I feel, not as much as what I see on the charts. Then it's going to be tough for AVAX to push through that. But if price action continues up and it goes up and right to OC's 79K he's looking at, then I think we're going to push up here. So let's give you a topside target. Topside target here for AVAX right now is where you see resistance. All right. So I'm going to kind of split the difference between where you resistance, you have support, all that. You did have a little breakout here, but it looks like it fell back underneath. So I think this is a good number here at about 39.89. That's probably where I would look for kind of a high side target where you're probably going to see more resistance and a little bit of a rejection. So high side target there, come back down, maybe retest and continue up. That is one area to look for. So what would I be looking for if it did get up to that area? Well, obviously a rejection. What do I look for is a small pullback, nothing too crazy, maybe a percent or two, and then use a little bit of leverage. That's kind of my strategy personally. But if it does continue to break down, let's say the market does pull back, like I'm thinking, right here, value area low is definitely an area that you can look at, about 31. So 31, anywhere between 28 and 31 is probably a nice little opportunity to fatten the bag a little bit, because you can see support all in this area, in this range. But that would be an area of interest for me if I was looking to add to my bags, more of a long-term position. So short-term, at about 39 to we'll say 40 might be a little short opportunity if you're looking to add your bags a little bit. Long-term, hodl a little bit, as we say, 31 to about 28 might be an area for you to add to those bags.
All right. We can jump it back over to my chart. I'm just finishing up the TA. It was Striker, so I am looking at that right now. Let me go ahead and pull up over here. There we go. Awesome. So I'm looking here, guys, and Striker is pretty interesting. We got a couple of things here. This is for BC Corp, Blackie Chan. So we did have this gap here, and we tried to come down and close it. Did not get closed quite. It actually caught the daily dynamic reactor as a bounce. Recently, this company did do an acquisition. So let's jump over here, check out this news. There it is. So Striker's acquisition of Artelon set to expand its market. This is actually looking good for it. Sentiment is pretty good there. However, on Zach's rank here, if you don't know Zach, they do research on stocks. They actually have it as a hold, not a buy yet. They did beat their earnings reports, and you can see that by clicking down here and clicking the earnings. So they did come in and beat their earnings report that they just recently had. There we go. Can I get that? Thanks. It was surprise earnings. I saw it on the 4-hour. Jump over here. There we go. Earnings right there. They had surprise earnings that came out good. You can see that it's green. Probably can't see the number. So they did beat their earnings, but then dumped hard on it. Almost got a bounce on the 382 there. And then moving up. And right now they are sitting above that 4-hour dynamic reactor. So let's go and throw a fixed range volume profile on here and see how this is looking for it. We're going to take it from right back here at this previous range. Yeah, it just got a bounce on its point of control also. So I would say overall, this is looking decent, but I would definitely dollar cost average into this, because right here at this value area high, which is coming in at about 349, we do have a massive node that we would have to get through up here. A lot of resistance in this area on this, but with this recent news that they got and their earnings reports that came in pretty strong, it's not looking horrible. If we look at the daily here, at the oscillator, we are at the top and we are getting a reverse signal that printed, and it's pretty overweighted. So if I was going to get this, I would be looking at a range of about 325 on that dynamic reactor to start my DCA on this, or at least my second round of DCA, maybe an initial, and then look at it that way. That's what I got for Striker for you, bro. Let's go ahead and kick it over to OC.
Perfect. We have Ondo playing out here. So I know it's a little bit of a late analysis right here. I ended up doing a 24th of May analysis here. 22 of May. Looking for a bull flag breakout. It did play it out perfectly. In fact, it also reach out perfect targets here. And not only that, it created the same pattern here with a bull flag going down at these areas and then breaking out. All right, so I'm pointing this out because also I want to show you the pattern that the oscillator has been looking or playing out. Right, let me just remove this and go to my pencil here. So now that we have it right here, we can see that we went all the way at the top. We also had some various divergences, and then when visiting the zero line and bounced from it. Right at this point, also we had some various divergence and reversal signals, and then instead of just bouncing out of the zero line, we went all the way down and did the exact same thing. All right, so far we have some reversal signals and various divergence, and kind of like it seems to be the same story, right? But I want you guys to look at very, very quick that instead of going down in here, building up a bullish flag, we are going up. And going up usually ends up breaking down. So just be careful, because for me, it's looking like we have more reversal signals than a continuation. So I'll be looking for two major support lines or trend lines. Looking at this one and adding an alert, and looking at this other one, and I'm going to be giving me myself a buffering area right here, right? And I want to grab from here all the way from what is it right now. So those are going to be my alert systems. And yeah, Ondo looking good, but possible for going for a reversal. That's what I got for you guys.
Awesome. Let's kick it over to Trey Fly, see what he's got on his chart there.
Right on. So what you see right now is a little bit of news. And so somebody asked, it was actually Jim Cramer. He said, anyone buying this Riot flash dump? So I pulled up the chart, started looking at that, and I was like, okay, let me look, let me find some support levels. And I was like, hold on, why is it dumping? Because everything else is not dumping as hard. And so it looks like the Carousel Capital short report. So just trying to look at the news. I want to tie that in and see why it is that it's dumping, or I start looking at, some of the support levels.
It looks like they announced
okay, so
that.
Carousel says it's short Riot
Yep.
platforms.
Yep.
Got it. All right, so that's driving it down. All right, so yeah,
I believe
that's
Riot though
business.
just recently. I believe Riot just recently though had something to do with an acquisition too. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I have to look, but here nor there. Let's look at the charts. All right, let's see if there's any potential support levels that we can look for. So we did fall through the golden pocket. That's unfortunate, but what does that mean? Well, we're probably going to fall right down to the next support level, and I conveniently have that marked for you. That's at about $8.58. You could see some price action in that area, and that's just based off previous support and resistance. Going back here. So remember, I always like to tell you, if it breaks down, comes up for the retest, and then actually breaks down from there, that's usually a pretty significant area. You got two of them. Matter of fact, you had one here. Let me go ahead and turn this on. You had one retest there, breakdown. Retest here, breakdown. All right. Then it comes up. You get a retest, flips it from resistance to support, and boom, goes up. So that's why I key in on these areas in particular. Let's see if this plays out. So let's go ahead and mark that. I'm not buying this because I just not all that interested in buying Riot. But let's put an alert on it. We'll create that, and then we'll see if we get some price action off of that. All right. So there is a significant area of support that I would be looking at. If it does break down even further, well, you're now flirting with the platinum pocket, and you're flirting with a trend line here for this falling channel wedge, whatever it's calling. It looks more like a channel to me. It's kind of parallel coming down and right. But that would be an area that I would really be more interested in, because there's confluence. And not only is the platinum pocket here, look at this. You come over to the left, and this is how you know you got it marked right, because look at the top and the bottom of the pocket there, right? So that should probably be an area of support. I would expect to see some price action off of that, especially with the confluence of it staying in this channel. That would probably be the more interesting of the two areas for me. But I do think you're probably going to get some price action off of the area at $8.52. Your next level is going to be down at $6.95. I definitely, I would be pretty confident in some price action coming off of that area. Not saying it's going to be significant, but I always look for about 1 to 2%. That's kind of my thing to look for. So there's a couple levels for you guys to look at. I'm not going to give you high tide targets because it's moving down. So that's what I got for Riot.
All right, let's jump over to my chart. I've got Chainlink pulled up. The unofficial, self-appointed first sergeant of the Link Marines reporting for duty. Let's go over here and take a look at what we got going on Link, guys. First off, I'm looking at the 4 hour right now, and we do have the oscillator ribbon does look like it's about to curve right here. I know it just turned green, but if you zoom this in, it is getting a curvature. Now, this could turn into the famous OC Goosehead, where it would, get a little curvature like this and then continue up. So keep that in mind. But as of right now, it is getting curvature. It does look like we're getting smaller candles here on the 4 hour on the RSI primed, sitting at about that 50% mark, which would be indication between those two oscillators that we are at a reversal point. One thing I do want to point out on price, and let's bring it up here and break it down. Bring it up and break it down. We did wick onto my T-box here and reject, and we are losing this range, guys. If you pull this up and look, you'll see this was the previous range that we were trading in all back here. We came into it, and we are losing it again. If I had to put an entry on this right now, I would actually take my T-box here, and we'll bring it up just a little bit higher, and I want to show you this area where I would look at picking up Chainlink. Let's bring this in. Let's get rid of the Mexican spaghetti, and let's go take a look at why I like this area. One, we've got the dynamic reactor. Two, we've got the old channel here. So let's bring that in there. And there, bam, there we go. You guys can see we were in this range down here previously and in this range again. This could be a good retest to come down and test the top of that range box, that channel there. And then to top it off, if we throw on the fibs, we've got the 382 falling right in here. Also, that was our previous bounce point back here that we had for support. So looking right now, $17 and 2 cents for the top of that, $16.56 for the bottom of that. Anywhere in that range box would be where I would look at doing a dollar cost average entry. If we do not hold that and we lose all of this area and you have an initial entry in there for a hodl, obviously, if it's a trade, you're going to have a stop loss and it's going to probably get hit. If you're looking at dollar cost averaging for hodling, then guys, you're going to have to look at the 50% line down here and the golden pocket. But as of right now, I am watching for that T-box there that I have drawn on my chart right there with that dynamic reactor. Again, $17.02 down to $16.54. Let's go ahead and kick it over to OC guy, see what he's got there. That is my Chainlink TA.
Hey, I'm gonna do something real
Absolutely. I have
quick.
Jasmine here.
So
Yep.
I want to say
Absolutely.
what's up. I'm gonna do the anti thing here. All right, Regent Cash, my man is blowing up the chat. He's saying hi. You know what, dude? Hi. How are you? You know what? I'm gonna say what's up to you, man. So sorry about that.
Hey,
I
what's
just
up,
wanted to say
Regent
what's up.
Cash 13?
There you go. There you go. Let's say hi to him. You know what? Probably young. So what's up, dude?
All right.
Absolutely. So
You got
we're back
Jasmine.
in here.
We got highs for Regent, and you got Jasmine. Let's go.
Perfect. All right. So I was expecting a further continuation. In fact, we were looking at this bull flag breakout. As you can see, it perfectly breakout. And not only that, it hit target also perfectly, right? So in the middle of that bull flag, I was expecting for maybe this movement to the upside and then a bounce or a bearish divergence to be formed as we had a retracement. Instead of that immediate retracement, we had a little bit of a leg up and then the retracement. So the retracement I was expecting did happen, but on the oscillator, but it just happened a little bit after, which pulled the price a little bit higher and then created the next bull flag that I ended up breaking. All right. So right now, just as before, we keep track on this not only trend line but also on this target line. So let's just add it like this, and this is gonna be the trend line that I'm gonna be looking at from now on, and also going for that also break of the trend. So we need to be a little bit careful on what's happening right here. Remember that also I was explaining on these areas that the goose head, I wanted to be above the center of the upper center of the oscillator. So it looks like this goose head did actually play it out not shortly or not like shy, but also played out very, very nicely. So right now, looking for maybe this breakout double top, and then going to visit some low areas, and then to see if we can bounce out of the zero line and then continue upwards to create or a less steep of a climbing trend line that we have seen here, or if we go visit that dynamic reactor. So just be careful on Jasmine at these areas right here. But other than that, looking good for the couple of for the next upcoming week.
All right, it looks like I've got enough time here to grab up some cake. So if you want to squeeze something in before that, Trey Fly, go ahead and go for it, and then I will knock out cake as the last one. So
Yeah, nothing too crazy. I actually was looking at coin. Haven't talked about that in a while. So, I mean, there was something we did do some TA on. Two areas we were looking at. You can see a little plane right here. That's when it pulled back to the 618, the golden pocket. We were interested in a buy area, and then it did it again. Came down to the golden pocket. We talked about that, and sure enough, it bounced and it got a lot of movement up and right. So just wanted to kind of follow up on that. It looks like we broke out of here. So it's been nothing but bullish for coin. So I don't see any reason to say that it's going to go down. The structure looks great. Nice pump up, pull back, nice pump up, pull back, and it comes right down to the golden pocket each time. So let's actually, you know what I do want to do real quick is do a fib extension, because I want to see where it actually went. Up, down, boom. So that actually went through the one. All right. So and the reason I'm doing that, and I'm just trying to say, okay, well, where could this go based on it following the same trend? So from down here, down to the bottom, and there you go. So now you're saying, let me go ahead and take this off. Some areas for it to go. You see where the golden pocket sits for the fib extension is at $297. Obviously, you're going to have to get through this area of resistance, which is the high here, the local high of 282. But 297, I would say, is in play just if it keeps this structure, right? It's been pretty clean climb up and right. So there you go. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. So yeah, just looking at coin. Looks very bullish.
boom, boom, boom.
Good.
All right. Yeah, I think coin's going to do quite well this whole sector, this whole cycle, because
I do too.
crypto obviously going to keep pushing its value and use. So let's go ahead and jump over to my chart. I've got cake here for a final TA, guys. Something I want to point out here. We did have a auto chart pattern that printed on here, and then we had a confirmed breakout down here. Now, mind you, it did run kind of sideways for a while there, but it would not have triggered a stop loss at any point because you would have set it below the lowest wick, which is there. So that actually played out well, and we just hit we just broke here about last night, overnight, broke that target there, that smart target right there, which that green dashed line running all the way across. So shout out to Chart Prime for nailing that one. We are sitting above the point of control, which is the dashed red line there. We are sitting above the dynamic reactor. This is looking pretty bullish. Now, I want to throw some fibs on here, though, and see where we could be looking at some pullback. So let's come over here. This is our last high there, and let's go down to this low. It's going to be right there. Nope, little bit off. Hold on. Readjust fire. I got to get that in there.
Over.
What's that?
I said shot over.
Right. It did not want to go where I was putting it at, and I want to make sure I got these exactly right. So there we go. Perfect. So this range that we're going to be watching for here on Cake doing its run up here, guys, we got a 382 sitting right above us here, $3.31. So be careful and be mindful of that one. But as of right now, man, it had its max profit from its sell-off. It has now pumped up. If we get past this 382, I'm not seeing anything indicating weakness on this when I look at the daily. We are just now starting to get the pull up here on the Oscillator Pro above that zero line. Plenty of room to move there. Still can go much, much higher here on the RSI Prime. It's looking pretty good. If you're looking to get in on a trade on this one, and you're like going to trade Cake, then maybe look at an entry right here $2.95 for a long. That would be a retracement pullback. Then getting a bounce there would be where I would look for getting that move to the upside. It's pretty good. And cake at the end of the day, decentralized exchanges are going to do pretty well, and that's cake's forte. So let's kick it back over to Trio Cam. Let's wrap this up. That's what we got for the show today, guys. Job numbers. So just be mindful. Like I said with the when I was going over the economic data, we do have some mixed stuff in there as people aggregate that info and try to figure things out. We do have some numbers that were good and numbers that were bad in there for jobs, but it could be enough that people go, oh crap, this is stagflation, and now they get a little bit worried. But that candle that I showed you guys earlier on Bitcoin, it is starting to retrace back up and pulling back into a doji candle. If you just keep an eye on it, guys. I think overall, though, the job numbers are probably going to create some volatility, some upside movement. I am still looking at 74,000 for my call. But Friday morning, guys, Friday morning is where you got to be watching. That is the unemployment numbers. And, we'll see what those fake numbers look like.
Right on.
Trade Fly,
Hey,
OC,
so
what do
I
you got
got
for the people?
I got some intel. I just got a text message from one of my besties. He's actually my neighborhood bestie. I hang out with him all the time. He went to get some coffee, and guess what? His little guy went ham on the hi button. So that is who that was, saying hi multiple times in the chat. That was one of my friend's sons. So just want to give a shout out,
Hey,
my man.
That's awesome, man. That's
Yeah,
awesome. Hey,
my
I
man,
got
C-Hop.
nothing but love for kids, so ain't that right, ZTS?
I guess. I don't know.
But yeah, just want to
He
shout out to
knows
my
I
man
love
C-Hop, dude.
All right,
So,
OC, what you
Yeah.
got, man, for the people on the way out? Tell them what they win if they hit that like button.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Remember to hit that, smash that like button, because if you do, I bet you're gonna get some great deals on the next application. So don't believe me? Click that like button and go watch those deals happen and pop up on your screen. Remember, you need to look for those before they happen.
Big facts. Big facts. Guys, today, just keep an eye. I think that we will see upside, but if you're trading, use those stop losses as always. And we will be back here tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys the news, the charts, and the markets, and everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Until then, guys, trade safe. And as always, again, use a stop loss.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels fall low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to project dime. And if you like the visual powered by Chart Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels fall low. Sound off.
To get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean?
That was awesome, dude!